Hey everybody, welcome back to Disco Elysium. Wow, what an episode. Last episode, that was quite surprising. But surely this episode will be the end. Surely there can't be much more after we arrest this guy. I mean, hopefully there is enough. Hopefully there's at least like 30 minutes or something to fill out an entire episode. If you see this episode is like 5 minutes long, you'll know why.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him now. Sir, how could you not see the phasmid? See? He stares at the reeds and falls silent. Mr. Dross? The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets, his gap-toothed mouth shaking. Snap your fingers under his nose, wave your hand in front of his eyes, wave your hand in front of his eyes, or touch his shoulder gently. No, let's wave your hand. A light shiver passes him, followed by nothing. His hands are trembling and he breathes slowly. He's going to some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Dross? The trembling mouth appears to sigh. Task complete, inspect the phasmid. Though you would have thought that would have been task complete a while back. Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid. What has happened to this man? Old age and shock. He looks at him and then to you. I think it's the phasmid. Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you? Quite a few things about that health check you did on him make sense now. He couldn't see it, Kim. It's just the reeds for him. Before, when I evaluated his state, he seemed strangely animated. He's been here for a long time. Who knows how much of it in its company. So, he's like been hanging around the phasmid for too long? He couldn't see it, Kim. That could be part of the shock, but you're right. Something is off here. Mr. Dross? He touches the man's shoulder. No response. Maybe this is how the phasmid has stayed hidden all these years. By, like, blinding people to its presence. Or no, it's not that. We asked maybe this is how it stayed hidden. Then how did we see it? Oh, you mean whatever does this, does it over time. Teenagers, kids, drunks. Sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it, yes, you forget it's there. Lieutenant inspects the man. Mr. Dross, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the reeds? The old man stutters. The doctors will have a look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse. Before, when I evaluated his state, he seemed strangely animated. He was energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect worse. Perhaps this animation is induced by something in the phasmid? Like the stuff that we licked off our fingers earlier? He does not seem to be animated now once it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive. I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall. He takes off his glasses and cleans them. When he puts them back on, he's still staring at the sea. He's been here for a long time. Who knows how much of it in its company. He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him. Like he didn't want to leave this place. And the insect, maybe. I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo. No one would believe you without it. We found some things in the nest, Mr. Dross. He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should show him the helmet. Nothing, just dull staring. Not even rage left wherever he is. If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said, the ebb would have pulled it back here. That makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up, or the phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible. What about the scope? I lost. You lost it, Mr. Dross? He turned his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times, beige and white stripes. He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie phasmid? The lieutenant observes lens sparkle in your hands. Okay, this sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot? Silence, not even a sigh. I'm gonna let you rest now, Mr. Dross. The plastic cape flaps around his face in a dust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open. The blacks of his eyes are receding. The pupils are returning to normal. Okay, let's just hang tight, Mr. Dross. We should think about getting back to the mainland to get help. He'll be safe here if we don't take too long. How about you go? Or I go and someone stays here with him? Probably I go because you have the gun. But should we leave him all alone? Will he even be here when we return? He doesn't seem like he can go too far, but you never know what happens once we leave him. Alright, back towards the boat. What is that? Warm air from inside the building. It's warmer there than out here. Okay, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. The engine is running. These stairs feel ancient. Soldiers' feet ran up them long ago. Alright, well, let's get in the boat, I guess. The skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock. Let's return. We're done here, he says, adjusting his glasses as he looks out over the water. The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff. Do I need to change clothes for this? Who is waiting for me? Harry, we're here because we're worried. Oh, it's our cops. It's our... okay. Let's change clothes then. What might we need? +1 rhetoric, maybe? Instead of, no, let's leave the cuirass on. Empathy, no. Drama, no. Logic, we have tons of logic. Composure, maybe? Instead of the jacket? Well, that's plus composure anyways. Oh, it's just infinitely better. Because this is +1 composure, -1 shivers, and this is +1 both, composure and shivers. Savoir-faire instead of logic. Well, we maybe want authority. So can we put on... Do we have authority glasses? No, I thought we did, but I guess not. Well, you know what? I'm not sure what to put on, honestly. So maybe we don't worry about it too much. Maybe instead of logic, we put on the reactions. No, not the reaction speed. Our logic is incredibly high. Maybe we'll put on the helmet. So we have, like, we just don't have the boots, huh? Or maybe the pants, if there were pants. Alright. I don't even know what I'm doing here.
Look what the tide brought in.
Says Jean Vicamard. Suddenly his expression changes as he tilts his
I
head.
want to call you a teapot, but I'm honestly kind of impressed. No idea where you got all that gear, but there's no doubt in my mind that some bad people are looking for it. Also, you look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, well, so do you, Jean. Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen. This is the man with glasses from the Whirling in Rags, but where are his sunglasses? Wait, you're the man with the sunglasses. Forget about all this, there's a giant. The armor? No one seems bothered by it. Who are you people? Wait, you're the man with the sunglasses.
That's right. And you're some kind of murder machine.
No one else seems bothered by the armor.
Oh, really? They don't seem bothered by it? That's because you're a cop in an exoskeleton.
Yeah, I'm a cop in a goddamn exoskeleton, so what?
Actually, are you? Are you still a cop? There's so much disco going on. It's hard to tell.
Vic, calm down.
Forget about all this. There's a giant.
We are not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
He points at you with both hands. Who are you people anyways?
Hello, I'm Trent Heidelstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
Are you the guy with the Sunday friend? You are the Sunday friend, I mean?
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Mar, and this is your special task force, or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heidelstein, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
Hi, Judith.
We have come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
I'm doing just fine, thank you.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Precinct 57. We've just come from the island where our investigation led us.
Thank you, Kim. The scene is making him feel as though he has to justify your
We
actions.
might need your help with something later.
Suddenly, he adds, suddenly regaining his confidence.
So this is clearly a departmental matter. So I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Way to feed me to the wolves. No, Kim. You've got to have my back. Let's destroy them. I mean, not that, but, I mean, way to feed me to the wolves, Kim. But, let's not open up, let's not air our dirty laundry here in front of these people. Just thank you, Lieutenant.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
She smiles warmly, flashing Kim the tiniest of smiles. Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you. What's this all about?
Ari, we want to help you. Trant, I believe this is where you come in.
You can't help me. We're helping ourselves here, thank you very much.
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
Yeah, see you later, Heidelstein.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
Yeah, I have to say, you cannot speak to me like this, you jerk. Shit kid. What an interesting moniker. What's a shit kid? How did you know I was here? You aren't the man in the sunglasses at all. You're not even blonde. You never told me you're not the horse-faced woman. So, Trent Heidelstein turns out to be Special Consultant Trent Heidelstein. Yes, I'm Trent Heidelstein. I never said I wasn't Trent Heidelstein. Wait, what was up with the kid then? Oh, you weren't the guy, you weren't the Sunday friend, you were the guy at the Feld. I'm completely wrong. What was up with the kid then? Mikhail? Mikhail's my son. Oh yeah? What was up with all the interesting history? Spying on me? No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinez beachhead, and Mikhail wanted to see Martinez. It was a coincidence. So what are you special consulting for here? What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory. Look, can we just not with this because we have the killer in the other island and he needs medical help? Duped again. No one is who they say they are. Duped. Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily. Gardener, scab leader, this. Turn to the lieutenant. Tell me at least you're who you said you were. Okay, that does have something to do with it. Yes. No. Everyone's lying to me. Kim, at least you've been honest, right? Yes, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, still a lieutenant from Precinct 57. You mentioned a task force? Yeah, Major Crimes Unit under Lieutenant Dubois and Vic Damar. Or Vic Damar. Ring any bells? Refresh my memory. Who else is in this? Yeah, totally. I get it. Major Crimes Unit. Sure. He doesn't remember. See? He really doesn't remember. It wasn't a sick joke. At least that's good. Yeah, that's very good. So how'd you know I was here? The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went. I didn't fuck over no cafeteria manager. I saved his establishment and he still betrays me? Turned to the face of the general direction of the whirling and yelled, "Damn you, cafeteria manager, you betrayed me for the last time." I understand. Okay, Garza told it. I saved him and he still betrays me? Strange, he didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look saved at all. There was giant arrow graffiti in front of the building mixed with blood. No, it was this one junior delinquent. Yeah, I wrote that. It was a poetic gesture. Yeah, it was Cindy. I don't know. It had shit kid written all over it. So what's... You keep saying shit kid. Can you please stop it? What's a shit kid? You, shit kid. That's you. Maybe you've deserved it. So where have you been all the time? When we were in a freaking gun battle, you couldn't be there to interfere? And, like maybe save some people? Where have we been? We've been fucking off as far as I remember. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. You're detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn. Detect or die. All will burn, satellite officer Vic Martyr. Make no mistake about it. Why didn't you detect or die then? Why would you leave a literal police god? I said all those things? I'm not like that anymore. Why didn't you detect or die then? Oh, you think it was cool, you saying that aesthetic somehow? You were crying when we got here, breaking things. You said we were going into the abyss. None of us wanted to see the abyss, so we fucked off, like you told us to, but you still hung around to spy on me. You bastards. None of this is ringing any bell. Let's move on. The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it? Well, he doesn't have visible tremors. He talks without slurring. He can drive a boat. He's standing, reasoning, all good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic, meaning you forgot both who you are and the definition of money, Isola, pale, and so on. As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, he makes air quotes, but also mine with him before when Harry did not know who I was. It's all very interesting. Interesting? Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry? What do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically? Wait, socioeconomically? You think I'm so poor I lost my memory? I drank so much I lost my memory and I'm now slowly recovering it? I made it all up. It was a fantasy, a stupid joke. I know what I am. I might have something to do... It might have something to do with an anomaly in the church, a 2mm hole in the world. I'm a highly experimental detective. This was a method I used to solve the case. Something so sad happened to me that I couldn't be me anymore. It was a defense mechanism. That one? I mean, maybe it has something to do with the 2mm hole in the world too, but why would that affect me personally, just me and no one else? Look, we got down. Even my ex-wife, the not Dolores Day, said that I get pretty down sometimes, so something so sad happened to me that I couldn't be me anymore. Psychotraumatic amnesia. Trant? I can go for that. Shit Kid is a broken man, always has been. Who isn't? I know I am, but you know what? I keep my shit together. Also, I know a person can't wipe their own mind however traumatic it gets. That doesn't happen. You're lying or insane or both. But, Detective Vicmar, he has blinked out before. I have? Yes, a couple times, after some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural. So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful. The two cases in your ledger, the unsolvable case and the New World mural, those were recent. Those cases were hard on you. Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he could have gotten the idea. Yes, practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak. What are you talking about? I didn't do this to myself. I didn't intentionally do this. What do you mean? Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here. Look at the ruins, the neon, listen to the radio, the multitude, the people. Live here for 40 years as a police detective. He's like a magnetic reader on the world tape. To borrow a known metaphor, Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. So you're saying that it's something we do to ourselves? We reset our brains and that somehow helps us be a better cop because we just take in all the input rather than being biased by our previous memories? Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end. Okay, Trant, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the Major Crimes Unit? Is he a Cretan now? I want to know that. He is not a Cretan, and he is able to do work, if not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective. I'm ready to lead again. Line detective is good for now. He's wrong. I'm too far gone for that work. Fuck all of you. I don't want to be in your unit. I'm ready to lead again. I've been doing pretty good here. Tell him, Kim. No one even mentioned that. I've misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the potty, or do we need to get him on a disability pension? Well, what now? Nothing now. Now we're just gonna stand here. Okay, well then I'll just stand here. Yeah, just stand there, it's cool. Really? No, now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to your motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry? Hold on. In the ocean? It was stolen by Jacob Irwa. I drove into the ocean when I was drunk. Thought the killer would be underwater. He wasn't. Tequila Sunset. I also jumped the canal, by the way. I don't know. I don't know what it's doing there. We could just be like, Tequila Sunset. But you know what? Let's fess up to it. Let's be open and honest, even though it leads right into their thoughts about me. But they're going to think about me anyway, so if I lie, I seem like I'm, some kind of manipulative coward. And if I'm just truthful about it, you know what? Yeah, I made a mistake. I drove into the ocean. So what? So refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of everyone's payslip. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge. Wait, my badge? I've got my badge right here. I lost it. I haven't found it yet. What I do have is this futuristic armor. I've got my badge right here. In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand. So we can red check. Can we put points into hand-eye coordination? While, this is bad for me to, be learning this 30 hours into the game. At the very end. But can we put points into it while we do the check? That's cool. %72% chance. I'll try it. Not today, badge. Did I get the badge? Behold my badge. The drama is unnecessary. I got the badge. All is well. The man is unimpressed by the piece of plastic in your hand and your gun, as if having your gun, badge and gun are natural states, not achievements. Gun. Yeah, you don't have that. Maybe you can philosophize your way out of it. Gun? Gun? Wait. How did you know I lost my gun? I have a new gun now. I upgraded my gun to a rifle. I may have pawned it. Anyway, it's gone now. I'm on it, 24/7. I'm tracking it down right now. Gun, badge, car. These are all things. Things don't matter. People do. Look, I'm tracking it down. All these other things are evidence. I can't pretend that I'm using evidence. Okay, you know what? I'm on it. But you haven't, because you're drunk. You lost your gun, and you're drunk. You're a drunk, gunless bum. I can smell it. I haven't even been drinking. So it doesn't even matter that I found my gun? I didn't find my gun. I'm not drunk. I haven't started drinking again. I tried not to, but I can work. No, I haven't been drinking again. What are you talking about, dude? So you forgot to drink. I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then? He's wounded. It's been a long week. And he's handled an actual corpse. No idea what you're smelling. I washed the death off me. Wait, it may be because of the pheromone. Yeah, I handled an actual corpse. Yeah, it's been a bit of a week. I'm sorry I smell bad. None of this matters. My odor situation, it's meaningless compared to what I've discovered. Yeah, stop talking bad about me. I've discovered something important. What you've discovered? You let the suspect escape, a certain Klasha, because you were too drunk to assess her flight risk. We've read the reports, Harry. Lieutenant Kitsuragi's, we know. Klasha, she was some kind of spy from the Occident, specially trained. Not taking her in was the right thing to do. She gave a vital clue that led us to the islands. Okay, I got duped there. She pulled one on me. Yes, I let her go as an act of mercy. There's just a small detail in a huge case you know nothing about. That doesn't matter. None of it does. We're looking at the oxygen holocaust times a trillion. I've come to know the final fate of man in the universe. Yeah, let's not say that. Let's not say that we let her go. I mean, because we didn't really know that she was... Well, maybe we did. We didn't know she was going to run, though. I mean, she wasn't really a spy. I mean, she was a corporate spy. That's not really like a spy, right? Okay, I got duped there. She pulled one over on me. Duped again. Not for one moment do I believe you quit drinking. I'm not even going to get into the other suspects, the one who shot herself in the head, or the fact that you very likely sold your gun for booze. That's peanuts. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 6 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was a fucking mass murder. He did everything he could. The lieutenant interrupts him. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. And I got shot for it, you frickin' jerk. He did so at considerable risk to his life. He was shot and survived only because of his armor. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been. Yeah, what he said. I also solved the case. It's solved. All of it. Yeah, it was a massacre. We got wiped. Where the hell were you? The firefight is a trivial matter compared to the greatest discovery of this century. I'm just sorry. Look. Yeah, what he said. Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest that you didn't handle the situation. He brushes a stray strand of hair out of his eye and coughs. You spent the week with him on this case. What is your take? On the case? On Lieutenant Yfretor Dubois. Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge, that's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week. See? 1 week. Then there's the self-flagellation issue. He likes to apologize profusely, making it sound like he's guilty of at least first-degree murder. It's not a good communication strategy for an officer. It's just strange, especially in light of his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a true blue moralist, a man of the center, not prone to political outbursts, which is commendable, but also at odds with his behavior. And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for, but despite all this, he's a great detective, one of the best I've seen, in fact. Thank you, Kim. Thank you again. He can talk human beings into telling them everything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven. Thank you again, Kim. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out. Yeah, it was what it was. Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over these years. Oh, and he's also discovered a new species. A new species? A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged in the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulating phasmid. He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows, flapping the glossy rectangle in his hand. Hold on to it, Kim. Don't you let it fly away. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind. As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered. Hosanna? Boom shakalaka, motherfucker. So, as you can see, I'm a pretty okay detective. This is what I've been trying to tell you about. As you can see, I'm a pretty okay detective. He ignores you, still staring at the phasmid. Fucking hell, is this somehow connected to the case? Detective? Boom, boom, boom. Yes, I believe the pheromone it emits may be responsible for the killer's mental degradation. The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence, exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia. He fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic, so it is connected. I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even know. I don't have words for it. Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk. His tired eyes follow the photo as Lieutenant puts it away. Now you make your case. Now is the time, now or never. I also started a nightclub in the church. Also, the phasmid was female. The reeds are its nest. The killer, we have a strong motive for him. The previous head of the Deporters Union was assassinated by our killer. There was also a dead man on the boardwalk and a missing person I found. Also looked into the mystery of the doomed commercial area. Say what you say. So what do you say? Want to take this hot shit back? Okay, so, the previous head of the Deporters Union was assassinated by our killer. Lieutenant lowers his voice just a little. This is conversation for when we are no longer out in the open. In Martin Ace, where Everett and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere. And eyes, too. You returned from the island must not have gone unnoticed. Understood, of course. The consultant, too, has lowered his voice. I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related for political neutrality. This has to be good stuff for him to backpedal out of it first mention. The killer has strong motive. Lilianovich, a revolutionary metronym. A revolutionary metronym? I don't have time for this. Straight to the point, please. What do you mean it's a revolutionary name? The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Larsovich. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism. So they used matronyms instead from the mother's name. This man's mother was Lilium, so he's Lillian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made to the Revachol. So it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called. Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive? Of course, excuse me. I thought it was just noteworthy. He wasn't quite sure what the straggler before he had heard this. He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him. He killed the mercenary in act of jealousy. He killed the mercenary hoping to start a war between the company and the union. He killed him in an act of rage induced by the phasmid semi-chemicals. Actually, I'm not sure if I have a motive. I had another thing. No, he killed the mercenaries in act of jealousy, I believe. Jealousy. I thought this Lilianovich was an old man, to have been hiding for 50 years, 70-something. A strange psychosexual fixation, aggravated possibly by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He gave himself a political reason, said he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead mercenary's head, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Drost confessed to. It's a clean win. Oh, it's way more than that. It's more than that, a perfect folding mechanism, like the phasmid. It's way more than that. I'll win her back with this. It's my masterpiece. I'll teach this in cop school. I did all I could. Every second was a struggle. It's a perfect folding mechanism. Like the phasmid? Sure, I'll go with that because I don't like the other options. Perfect folding mechanism. Get over yourself, Harry. I can still smell the booze on the wind. God damn it, doesn't it ever leave? It is there, like in your bones or something. I also started a nightclub in the church. What was that? Sounded like you set up a nightclub in the church? Yeah, I reinvigorated the local nightlife. Yeah, I did some kids a solid, turned their lives around. Yeah, and I discovered a hitherto unexplored entroponetical phenomenon in there, a 2mm hole in the world. That's great. Entreprenaut is a great new career for you after police officer. I don't care. Go live in the Pale. 4 kids were living in a tent on the ice. They were going to drown when it melted. It's not optimal, but the building was abandoned, so we put them in there. It's okay. Also, the phasmid was female. Female? What makes you think so? You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female, and the nesting behavior too, I think. And it said it cloned babies and ate them. Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest? Not as far as I can see. There were other things there, though. It had gathered items in its nest, a helmet and a scope. I think it produces by parthenogenesis. It had gathered items. Actually, you know, that would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers? They are for attracting mates. I still think it was a female. Of course, as I said, I'm only guessing. I didn't see it. It must be robust if it can move a whole helmet with its limbs. I think it reproduced by parthenogenesis. As in cloning itself? What makes you think so? It told me. Oh god, if we say we talk to it, they're not gonna like that. I mean, that's the truth, but it's not gonna like that. It's just a hunch. Well, then it wouldn't matter if it's male or female. The bower could just be a rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenic mutation. That makes sense? Yes. Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at a conservation effort here. In his mind, he's already planning a nature reserve and knows a good guy for that. It had mandibles that looked like hair, and it was completely white on the inside. Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts. Incredible! The PR value of this is exceptional. Cop discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Enceladian phasmid. No, that's too much. This would really help with some of the problems we've been having. Absolutely. This is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo. Without it, yeah, screw you, Jean. You know what? Once I become bigwig police commissioner here, because I'm the greatest cop that's ever lived, you're going to be out on your keister, mister. There was a dead man on the boardwalk, a missing person. Yes, fallen through a gap in the boardwalk, drunk. How do you know I found him? The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff. You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us. Still, good work with the missing person detective. I also looked into the mystery of the doomed commercial area. I don't know what a doomed commercial area is. Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10, a commercial building where all businesses go bankrupt. I looked into it. Why? That's not what you're supposed to be doing here. There was a fridge we needed, and a possible witness. He was just chasing a lead and ended up advising a local shopkeeper. It was okay. Of course. Call it community outreach, right? Dodged the bullet there. For a moment it seemed like you were just wasting time. So what do you say? Want to take this hot shit back? I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. So I have to. Jude? Anything that ends the trial is okay with me. Is this a trial? Is that what this is? Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go. Task complete. The return. Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go. Wait, I have a few questions before we go about who I am. Who am I? Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry. What? Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Quran. It's getting really cold outside. Maybe we should, that does explain a lot. I mean, it really doesn't because I'm not very strong. No way, I was a flagellant monk. That does explain a lot. Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair, the collection of FALN sportswear I've amassed. Your love of retro-style dance music, how you're able to perform a 360-degree spin kick. Also this guy, just everything about this guy. God, even this javelin-throwing freak here. Oh god, Contact Mike. Of course, Contact Mike. He's been on about Mike again? I hate that guy. Contact Mike is a reprise of the most inspiring basic sporting principle in open competition. A 5,000 to 1 rank outsider. When was this? When was I a gym teacher? You said in Quran? I was a gym teacher there? Why did I join the RCM? So you said I was in Quran? Yes, you taught gym in Quran. I think that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a local high school gym teacher. The smell of sweat and glue, the worn floorboards. Quran is just east of Jamrock. It was a short walk every morning to the baseball field or the sports building. High school, Harry. You're going on with Kuno, Andre, Estelle, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you're so juvie. Thanks, Kim. Why did I join the RCM? The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that. You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope. And when was this? In your 20s or late 20s. You've really let yourself go since then. But, you know, Contact Mike. He was a inspiring sports figure. Oh, you don't say. Does he also vault an impossible gulf of finance and privilege? It is getting cold out. Okay, I see now. Why am I like this? It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you're a drunk. You really went with it, too. Really maximized the damage. Some chick? Who? Dora something. Dora Ingerland? Yeah, you mentioned her name. Not Dora Dubois? So we weren't even married? No one is married anymore. This is Revachol. When was this? God, I don't know. 6 years ago? She was way before my time. 6 years? Okay, 6 years is not that much. It couldn't have been 6. 3. Let's go with 3. It's been 6 years? Yeah, or 7. You're not good. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That. And Dora Engerlin really tore you a new one. A big one. So who was she? Incredibly bangable? No, I mean, what did she do? She was incredibly fuckable. A beautiful bourgeois woman. Waifish, or wayfish. Wayfish, there we go. Like a Welkin, basically. Snow Welkin, blonde Welkin, Pain Welkin. I've only seen a picture, but it's obviously you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was, one you never recuperated from. Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go home. I think she taught in the Académie des Arts east of the river, way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink, egg and chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this, not a psychologist, several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that. In other words, he's heard enough about this. Okay, am I a dirty cop working for La Puta Madre? No. No, because a suspect seemed to think you're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you. I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit. He would immediately backpedal out of it. What kind of station is Precinct 41? Us? We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? We're the bad guys. No one likes us. That's not true. Gemrock is too big for one precinct. You're just understaffed, and everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price. Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station, and the district is too big, which is why we need to, like, get out of here. Get back to it. We left Torsen and McLean to run the Sea Wing. That's not good. Torsen and McLean and the Sea Wing and Prices. Did we recently shoot up a church by any chance? So I work in the bloody murder station, so I don't really care about all this, but I'll ask what the Sea Wing is. God, there are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake. There's also a lot of outside help involved. Not only me, other losers too. Well, thanks, Trent. I really needed the laugh. Did we shoot up a church? And Price? And Torsen and McLean? You know what? I don't remember what the church thing is about, so I'm not going to ask it. And I don't really care who these people are. So I worked in the bloody murder station? Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and coffee and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there, hard, every day. Gemrock is the largest ghetto in Revachol. Felberg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Gemrock only has us. The press will blow over. Gemrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it. Thank you again. I need to tell Lena about this, like Phasmin, right away. Who is Lena? She lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road in Gemrock, remember? A cryptozoologist. She lives in Gemrock on Tabernacle Road. She told me about this Phasmin. Tabernacle? It's on the way over, near where you live, on Perdition. Fine. We'll drop by. She and her husband were conducting the research for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change. Lieutenant, what will you do now? Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all this. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain. About what? He pulls up his collar and looks around, the cold spring light reflected in the lens of his glasses. Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready. Infiltrate. Investigate. Distant traffic. A scrap of newspaper drifts by, carried by the wind. It says, tensions rise in Terminal YC in light of the debordeur strike in Terminal B among representatives of heavy industry in Coal City. Do you want to do that at Station 41, Kim? Do you want to help us out? Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains when my doom mongering. No, I mean investigate. You want to come work at Precinct 41. Work with Price? I'm flattered. I don't know if I... This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss. Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you'd consider it. The man turns very serious all of a sudden. I would have to tie things up in the GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor. And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even. I do like the sound of that. Achievement unlocked. Recruit Detective Kim Kitsuragi. He's really considering it. I'm ready. Let's go. Good. She looks at you, then at Vikimar. Fuck it. Let's go. Trant brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock. Under the noonday sky, the great district hums. A chessboard of wooden houses. 80,000 living souls in chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41 to Boogie Street, forking into the snow-swept horizon. Close your eyes and hear a dog bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. En route to St. Jerome, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Wonderful. Can we please just go back to Jamrock now? The end. The end. So, I think we did pretty well there. Though I do wish we could have figured out what the heck was going on with that church. That was the only real thing that I didn't have an idea on. Is this Tell It to the Heart? Tell It I'm the Only One? This is a cover? Whatever it is, it's getting me demonetized. But I'm not monetized, so if you'd like to help out with that, like, subscribe, comment, all that fun jazz. Pretty big list of voice talent. Some people did like 5 things and some other people just do 1. The stress relief dog. Alright, I could have ended the episode, but I really want to see if there's anything after credits. And also, all these people did an amazing job making this game, so they deserve to have the credits roll and not just me end it. Mankind, be vigilant. We loved you. I loved you, ZAUM, and your game. Nope, that's it. No after credits. Just to the main screen. So, that's it. That's Disco Elysium done. Again, I really wish that we had been able to pull off something about that 2mm hole in the world, but maybe we weren't supposed to know. Maybe that's just supposed to be a mystery that's up in the air. And maybe the only other thing that I'd like to have known what we could do is if we had enough points in suggestion or whatever so that we could have gotten Dolores Day / our ex-girlfriend to kiss us in the dream sequence. What would that have done? But I think we did a pretty okay job solving almost all of the things in the game somehow in the limited time frame we had to do it. So I don't know. It leaves like this game. I'm sad it's over with, but it was pretty great. But until the next series, that is, not episode, next series, because we won't be playing Disco Elysium again, unfortunately. Until the next series, thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you again next time.